soon as I move that wire. It's the boy! It's the boy! I've got to get my biking back and before I boil my arse. The bike's outside with the keys in it.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Yes, can you guess what we're doing, children? Apart from making a mess. Right. The investigation of Phyllis advanced class. Now, let's take that off. I'll just put that on because that is a live wire. And I've just been away for a bit. And I didn't want it, if it sagged or anything, I didn't want it touching anything. Right, ignore this blue bit. Basically, when I was wiggling the wires before, if I wiggled this wire, which I didn't know what was, Jim, that doesn't make sense, you tid. Ignition cut off, and I was suspecting a break in the loom. Well, I've cut the loom back, as you can see. I can't really see anything. That wire actually goes down here to this, which I believe is a battery diode. Now, I think apart from me probably a Falco years ago, I haven't had an injected bike, but the injection system, it's the wiring of it's basically connected to everything. There's obviously throttle position sensor, that is an idle adjuster, but it takes readings off an engine temperature sensor, a lambda sensor, rectifier, stator, everything. If there is an interruption to all that, pump shuts off. But this battery diode, basically power goes to the battery, to the diode then sends it up to ignition, which is this, goes into ignition, which is our red wire, and then the ignition on this bike is basically on and off. There's no parking lights, there's no extra circuitry, it is literally just an on and off. So when you click it to on, the power then goes in and then shoots out these two orange wires. Now if you notice, one of them is discoloured. Anyway, I chopped the plugs off. Discoloration in wiring generally means it's overheated, and they usually overheat because there's resistance. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up, but there is, on the multi-block, there is a little bit of the green nasty corrosion. So I think it was probably that, a build-up of resistance. It's overheated that wire. I don't really want to power it back anymore. It's good wire. I'm going to clean it, but I've just done a test bridge and there's a good connection. But what I'm going to do now is, obviously I've chopped that, here we go, chopped that plug out, and I didn't want to put, I've got, you see me do it with the ZZR, I've got a box of goodies over there where I can make my own terminal blocks up, but sometimes the fit's not the best. The pins can be a tiny bit loose, and I really don't want a loose connection on an ignition circuit. So what I've done, I had a spare headlight plug, which I got from Amazon because I needed one for the Z because the wiring had been utterly butchered on that. And then what I'm going to do is, I've got nice big spade connectors on, these are the this is the other end of the plug obviously, and what we're going to do, I'm going to, the spade connectors are a lovely fit in here, nice and tight, like a tiger. Put that side, and then I'm going to use some of my solder tubes and basically connect this to that and then match it up. Then if I ever do need to take the ignition off or anything like that, I can at least disconnect it. That's my theory. I could put all these in a 3-pin, but I don't think I've got any. The trouble is, look, the wires are really, I don't want to pull the loom anymore, because obviously when we do this and the bodywork falls off, it's going to pull the loom. Now that loom should be up against the headstock like that, but I'm still going to be a bit tight for room, and I don't want it pulling the wires. So I thought by using this, I'm going to have some extra wireage, some extra roomage, and then I can just cable tie that block somewhere out of the way, because obviously there's a cover that goes over there and what have you. So that is my plan. Whether my plan will work is another matter, but I'll solder this on with my solder tubes and then I will come back to you. Yes.
A few moments later.
Right, so in theory if it was the block and I'm right, I should now be able to start it up and wiggle this wire, and we should have no interruption to the circuit tray. So let's whack it on. That's a good sign. It's primed. Start it up. We've got everything. Yeah, we've got lights. Well, that all seems to work. I've run it up a few times, turned the bars. Everything is good. So I think that problem was corrosion in the, I'm just corrosion in the original block. Obviously this is hidden well outside, but if it gets any moisture in it, you're not going to know. So what I'm going to do when I've got the front off is I think I did it last time, but last time I took it off, you know, I gave everything a good covering and what have you. Yes, I did. There's evidence of greasage and what have you, so yes, I think we're good there. What I'm going to do is, I don't think it's worth running a bit of tape around this. It's not really going to touch anything or chafe anything. You can't have chafing. And I think it's alright. These are in quite well. I think we're alright. What I might do is get a little cable tie and just kind of pinch it to this. This is the seat release cable. You know, not zip tie it to it, but just guide it. And then that'll be this out of the way. But yeah, good. Happy with that. But what I'm going to do now is the missing O-ring that I omitted when I did the barrel, or trying to put the new barrel on. I've now got to figure out where it goes. It either goes in there between these two, and it's dead easy, it's just a couple of 8mm, or there is a little spacer there between this and the cylinder head, and there is an O-ring either side of the spacer. Chances are it's probably one of those, like I've seen one miss the other. So yes, I'm going to dig into that and replace the O-ring so we don't get any air leaks. Even though she was running alright the other day, it's worth doing while I'm here. Penis.
One eternity later.
What a tune. Makes me cry. Anyway, all buttoned up, all done, all good. Started up several times, waggled the bars. Light of spottage is back, just got to tighten that up. Everything works, and mysteriously the intake had all its O-rings. There's no other O-rings in the barrel that size or shape. What I'm thinking it was I do believe I replaced the O-ring on come on Jim, think the ZZR's oil filler, because I think it was missing one, or I took it off and it broke, and it could be from that. I'm going to check the oil filler cap, but it was lying on the workbench when I worked on Phyllis, so yeah, don't know, it's in good nick, so it will become apparent at some point, but until then I'm calling Phyllis fixed. And like I said, I had a look at Spurt the other day and waggled all the electrical wires and all that lot, and nothing. But Uncle Trev had the idea of putting a voltmeter on it and just seeing if the revs are fluctuating while you're riding, because they should, when the bike's running, stay around near 14 ish if the stator and the regulator rectifier is working okay. So that would be interesting. But I've had the switchgear apart and I cleaned everything up, and I just put it back together, but I've ran the bike and I've wiggled all the wiring, not a thing. So it could just be an isolated incident, or that canal bridge is haunted. You may scoff. My sister used to do mobile hairdressing. I'm just focusing on the bike. And she used to go to a house in our village, well, just outside our village, and every single time she turned into their driveway, the car cut out, headlights, everything. And then she'd coast it down to the front door and the car would come on again. And that happened pretty much every time she went there. Ooh, spooky. Well, I think I can call. I thought, because there was no visual corrosion or none that I could really see, that there was a break in the wire, which is entirely plausible. But then I started thinking, well, it doesn't matter which end of that multi-plug the wires are wiggle, it goes. Hand gestures. So that's what led me to believe it was a faulty multi-plug. There was corrosion in it. What sort of confirmed it is when I chopped the wires off the ignition side and one of the orange wires was discoloured, which shows it's been overheating, which is too much resistance. Guess what I found? I've just pulled the middle one out, which is the feed from the battery diode, so power in. Green and crusty, and it broke. So I'm surprised it didn't leave me stranded at the side road. I was very lucky because yes, that looks like something. Who was the stop motion guy who did you know, Sinbad and all that lot? Jason and the Argonaut. Is it Harryhausen, whatever his name is? Yeah, that looks like one of the statues. Basically, it's bronzy green and horrible and shit, and the other pin is still in there, but I should be able to pull it out now. Yeah, let's see if I can get it out. Let's see if it'll pop out this way. No. No. Pin's still in. But anyway, the main factor is it's broke. That was the problem. We've now rewired it. Cured. Yes. Here endeth the lesson. If there was one. Which I'm not sure there is. Yes. Today's beverage was Lipton's lemon tea in a can. Yes, yes, yes.